Okay, so I studied the neighborhood of Locust Point, and Locust Point is a neighborhood that's located in Baltimore, Maryland, and it's located at the southern end of the South Baltimore Peninsula. The boundaries include Fort McHenry Park and Lawrence Street, which is to the west, and the Patapsco River, which is to the north, east, and south. The adjacent neighborhoods are Riverside, Baltimore Peninsula, Fells Point, Canton, and South Baltimore. So some history about Locust Point is that it was formerly named Whetstone Point, and then it became known as Locust Point in 1845. It was named after the locust trees that grew by the peninsula, and it was the place where about 600,000 immigrants from Europe came between 1870 and 1900. Some current events going on are that as of February this year, there was a plan to build new homes that were luxurious, about 120 of them. And they're redoing the Locust Point street banners, which were last redone in 2012. So the demographics, the estimated population is about 2,075 people, 51% being female, 49% being male. 76% of the Locust Point population is white, 10% is African American, 7% is Hispanic, 4% is two or more races, 2% is Asian, and 2% is other. 37% of the population is between 25 and 34 years old, 20% is between 35 and 44 years old, and 16% is less than 10 years old, with the rest of the population being widespread ages. 41% of people have a master's degree or higher, 37% have a bachelor's, 12% have an associate's, and 10% have a high school diploma or less. About 54% of the people make over $150,000. Some more demographics. The crime rates are slightly higher than the average U.S. neighborhood, so their rate is about 4.809 per every 1,000 residents. And they're ranked 44th percentile for safety, which means that they're safer than 44% of neighborhoods, but they're less safe than 56. Um, as of March of this year, the median house price was $475,000, and the median rent was $2,798. Locust Point is ranked number 16 out of 187 Baltimore neighborhoods as the best to live in. The average people per household is two people, and the average household income is around $130,000. About 91% of the jobs are white collar and 9% are blue collar jobs. So, some available elements and resources, some cultural resources that we have are the Peabody Institute, which is a school. We have the Walters Art Museum, which is a picture down here. And we have pre-Civil War houses. Some art resources that we have art galleries, we have live music venues, and there are restaurants as well. For entertainment, the Orioles Park is very nearby. Locust Point has a sports bar called City Limits, which is apparently very beloved. And there's a Domino Sugar factory. So the available resources and their accessibility in Locust Point are they do have a public transportation system, which is provided by the Maryland Department of Transportation. And it includes buses and stops that are in the Locust Point area, which makes it easily accessible for residents to get where they want to be. They have the Locust Point Civil Association, which is for residents of Locust Point who are 18 or older, and they give their feedback on the neighborhood, and it is very easily accessible, and they have meetings and that sort of thing. For grocery stores, Locust Point has a Harris Teeter, which is located directly in Locust Point's neighborhood. It's in the industrial area, so it's walking distance if needed for residents, and that's this bottom left picture. It's the red dot in comparison to Locust Point. And then Locust Point also has a community church, meaning that it's right there in Locust Point. And then they also have Latrobe Park, which is located in, again, the Locust Point industrial area, which is this map on the right here. They're the red dot in Locust Point. So the needs of the community are local and nearby resources such as grocery stores, churches, parks, and schools. The needs of the community are met because there are many resources that are directly available in the neighborhood. If not, they are very closely nearby to the neighborhood, and residents are able to take advantage of their resources by using public transportation or easily getting there by their bike or their car. And then here's my references, and that's it.